that was me in high school. So that's something that I remember saying myself. And I think there is a lot of fear around the unknown, and a lot of those statements are made because we don't know of the resources that are out there. So I always like to start with that, is that college can be affordable. It can also be unaffordable, but you can make it affordable by putting in the work, by looking for scholarships, applying early to financial aid. My first 2 years, I was getting paid to go to college. What does that mean? That means I had enough scholarships and financial aid to cover what I owed, but also left over for my personal expenses, whether that was my bus pass, my books, my transportation. I mean, there are definitely ways that you can make college affordable, but it does take work. You should always apply to financial aid. Even if you think you won't qualify, you never know. That takes into account many things, like how many people in the family are attending college, income, family size. So it's really important that you apply to financial aid. All students will qualify for loans at the very least to help pay for college. And then you should also be applying to scholarships in addition to financial aid, to the FAFSA or the ORSA. We have the ORSA, which is specific for our undocumented or documented students to be able to apply and get some type of financial aid through the state of Oregon, right? So you don't get the Pell Grant, the federal grants, but you can potentially get the Oregon Opportunity Grant. And that's free money you don't have to pay back. The other thing that students who are undocumented should look into is if you're interested in going to a public university, we have what is called tuition equity. So tuition equity allows undocumented students to be deemed Oregon residents and pay in-state tuition instead of the non-resident rate. So you would be paying the same amount as your peers who are eligible for the FAFSA. So you're not having to worry about paying international rates or non-resident rates. So it's really important that you're keeping in contact with your admissions counselors and letting them know about that so they can walk you through that process. But every public institution in Oregon has a tuition equity form, and you should be able to find it on that application page. The other thing that I would encourage undocumented students to look into is making sure that you're looking into the scholarships that the universities have. A lot of the universities, their scholarships are not tied into legal status. So regardless of whether you're documented or not, you can qualify for them. Again, keeping in touch with your admissions counselor is going to be really important so they can point you to the right resources. A lot of schools will also have DACA resource centers or DACA groups, student groups that serve as a form of support. And a lot of those groups are really well informed on the different resources on campus, but also in the community and different scholarships as well. One of the other scholarships that I always encourage students to apply to is the OSAC, because with the OSAC, there's going to be a lot of scholarships that you can be eligible for. Again, your status should not determine your ability to go to college. It might take a little bit more time to find those resources, but there are a lot of resources, especially in the state of Oregon, that help support our Dreamer students.